Hi everyone, a really warm welcome back to the channel. Apologies for our disappearance for quite some time. Life has changed dramatically, as I'm sure you can imagine, with two quite old teenagers now. They're not keen on being in the videos, but we've still got the caravan. We haven't sold it at all, and in fact it has been an absolute godsend for the past couple of years because we've been indulging our other passion, and that is the sport of target archery. So mainly myself and our youngest son have been involved in that, but my husband started shooting again now as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And we've been spending an awful lot of time on the road because we've been to quite a lot of shoots at the National Sports Centre at Lilleshall. And what you're watching now is one of the numerous visits we've made to Hopwood Park Services, just at the bottom of Birmingham on the way up. It makes a great stopping zone for us. A couple of hours from home, another hour or so to go until we get up to Lilleshall Sports Centre in Shropshire. So I filmed this the first time we stopped there, not realising how many times we would stop this past summer. And the reason I want to show you this version is because I personally, on the first time in there, found the signage really bad. So I'll talk you through what that looks like. Luckily, I'd looked it up on Google Maps before we went, so I had a rough idea, but it was still, in the moment of driving around there, quite confusing. Luckily, it was a very quiet day. There was nothing behind us, so it was fine to not know precisely what lane I was supposed to be in at precisely the correct time, with the caravan on the back, of course. So we're approaching here on the M42. We've just come up from the London direction, so we've joined the M40 and then the M42. So as we're approaching here, we need to be coming off at the A441, signposted for Birmingham. That's junction 2, and the services are for both directions, so they're on the right hand side, the north side of the motorway, which means as we come off the slip road we need to be in the right hand lane, because it's quite an angle around, almost turning back on yourself, as you can see for the overhead map here. And thanks of course to Google Maps for the images that I've embedded in the video to help you work out where we are on the road. So coming up in the right hand lane, right the way round this big roundabout, just past that turning as we start to merge across pretty rapidly to get into the services. And you can see lots and lots of facilities here in terms of shops, and it's a welcome break one. And here is where we start the slight confusion of the road signage. Now this one has separate caravan parking, so we don't want the HGV lane, and here's where the confusion starts. So I'm thinking left hand lane must be HGV only, which means I'm moving across to the right because I don't want to take up spaces the HGVs need, of course, as it says HGV park only. And then we get HGV fuel only on the right hand side. And here is the first time we actually get a sign showing us what lane we need to be in. And of course it's the left hand lane, not the right hand lane that I'm in, coming in here for the first time. So as I said, luckily nothing behind us, so we can merge across pretty easily. Lots of speed bumps to deal with, and here's where it gets a bit sketchy. You can see it says caravan straight on, but we're pulling into what appears to be the car park through a car-sized roadway. Don't panic at this point. What we need to do is, when we get to this T-junction here, is to turn right, but of course we don't know that if this is the first time we've been here. So here we now get some signs across the road to indicate we need to turn right, which we do. Mind out for that curb on the right hand side if you've got a very long outfit. And here finally we get the first sign on the road that says caravan, so we've got an indication of where we're going. And all the caravan spaces are at the back here as pull-throughs, and as you can see coming round, they are incredibly narrow. They're also quite tricky to manoeuvre into, as I will show you what happened to the front end of my van, not on this visit but on a later one at a different date. So you can see even these van drivers are having trouble getting in the space here. Really tricky to get into these spaces, so if it's heaving in here it's super difficult. Luckily nice little space for us on the end. So that's into the caravan parking at Hopwood Park. It's a reasonable service station, but yeah, I do find it a little misleading if you're coming in for the first time. The signs aren't as good as they possibly could be. Then when you're ready to go, pull through, and we're following the perimeter road here to come round. We go past the road that was behind us and another row further back, and we find ourselves then turning round onto the exit row itself when we can join, because it's clearly got much busier by the time we're ready to leave here. So we need to go all the way down this car park road, of course, watching out for people reversing, people crossing, all the pedestrians as well. It's really can get really quite busy in here, so do mind yourself. And then we need to cross directly over all the traffic that's coming in that we turned right on in our way in. We need to cross to get back out. So we cross there, and then we find ourselves joining the exit row, and we will see that again the signage is a little bit misleading, because as you join the exit row, the road marking is indicating left lane for exit, which of course one joins the left lane because you want to exit, and then a few meters further on you find actually if you want to go south on the M42 you need to be in the right hand lane. So you're fine if it's quiet, but if it's busy and you're towing a caravan, just mind your back corner to make sure you get in the right lane. And then all the way, a long way back round that roundabout to get out again. And here's the slight disaster that happened a few months later. When we were back in here again, I was in that very slim space on the far right hand side. That was the only one that was left. And unfortunately, the chap next to me, it was just that very last corner of his caravan that clipped the front of the van, and he was terribly apologetic about it. But of course, it was a major hassle to sort out, because as soon as you get insurance companies involved, it's paperwork and admin all round, isn't it? Anyway, so there we are, well-positioned service station, but very, very busy at peak times, because it's quite a distance either side to the next service station, I believe. It's fairly modern inside, but it is a bit tight in terms of the manoeuvring, so do watch yourselves. All right, thanks for watching, and I've got a few more things to upload, so hopefully we'll be back to some video production with time. Thanks everyone, take care, bye for now.